Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Because of the emergence of the internet, actually our learning has already been changed and has already broken down the barriers in our classes. And Taipei has already launched a lot of Google Cloud classrooms to help us to be connected with international education. So students and teachers can utilize and take advantage of our online courses and also our equipment to engage in cross-boundary learning. So we have to be connected with the teachers all over the world. Now we got Tutor ABC designing a course based on International Foundation Year, IFY. And this course has a lot to do with business studies. And then Darlene is ready to be broadcast live with us, giving a lesson. Thank you so much. 谢谢，谢谢。麻烦我们记者大哥，麻烦我们就先请回座好吗？谢谢。不好意思，不好意思，谢谢。Okay. So, Darlene, are you ready?
线上教学。
I am ready. Thank you.
So right now we are gonna engage in our business studies. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you all ready?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So Darlene and the students and the mayor commissioner, they're all set. So why don't we just get the ball rolling and let's get started.
Hello, everyone. As was just mentioned, my name is Teacher Darlene, and it is such a pleasure to be here with all of you guys from halfway around the world. I am from the United States. Will you guys please take a moment and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm William, and I come from Zhongzhen Senior High School.
I'm Kapina Zheng. Hello.
Hi, my name is Patricia,
Hello.
and I'm from Yuchen Senior High School.
I made a call.
Hello, my name is Barry, and I'm from Nangang High School.
Hello. Very good, Mirko. Very good.
Hi, darling. I'm Scott. I'm from Shisong Senior High School.
Where are you?
Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Now, I know that you students have prepared for today's session. Today we're going to be talking about external economic influences. And to get us started, I would love for William to please define what is economics.
I think the economic is being of or relating to an economy. Yeah.
Economic.
Very nice answer. Thank you so much, William. So to get us started, let's go ahead and pay close attention to the reading. And we're going to talk about inflation basics. Now, Barry, would you like to please begin reading our first paragraph here?
Okay. The government is responsible for the management of the economy. The government will want to keep prices stable in the country's economy. This means that inflation must be kept under control. Inflation is when the general price level is rising.
Thank you so much. Wonderful reading. Thank you so much, Barry. Now, Patricia, we're going to have you read our example of what inflation is. Can you please read that for us?
Okay. If a basket of goods costs 100 pounds on January 1st, 2013, and the same basket costs 103 pounds on January 1st, 2014, prices have gone up by 3%. This means that the inflation rate is 3%.
Thank you so much, and that was beautiful reading as well, Patricia. Now, we have a currency here, this symbol here. Who here knows what currency this is?
I can answer that question.
Please do, Scott.
Okay, so that symbol is the symbol for pound. Pound is a unit of currency used in the United Kingdom. This symbol was a stylized representation of the letter L, standing for Libra, which is Latin in pound.
Wow, thank you so much for preparing that for us. I did not know that. Thank you so much. Now, since you still have the microphone, we just went over an example of what inflation is, but could you tell us what is inflation in your own words, please?
Inflation is a general continuous increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. Inflation has a major effect on the entire country's economy. It affects not only the government, or the little things in the average person's daily life.
Wow, Scott, that was such a beautiful comment. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. Okay. Now I have a question for you students. How does inflation affect you and your family? Would any of you guys like to answer, you students? Patricia, please.
Okay. So if inflation occurs, my family will have to spend more money on the same amount of merchandise than before. It would affect my family's living conditions.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so definitely inflation is something we all should be concerned about. Now, Mayor Ke, I have a question for you. Mayor of Taipei, for you, Dr. Ko, Mayor Ko, as the mayor of Taipei, what is one of the biggest challenges that you've experienced?
Oh, every day. Every single
I am sure of that. Anything specific you'd like to share?
Share what?
Your biggest challenge. How about this class? This is your biggest challenge as mayor.
Industrial upgrading. Industrial upgrading.
Industrial
Thank
operation.
you. So that, yeah. Industrial upgrading?
But the best way to
Thank you so much for sharing that.
The best way to compete is upgrading.
Upgrading.
Thank you. Miracle, you did a great job.
这个上这种课迟到会死太多。
Okay, now for Commissioner Zhen, when it comes to the issue of external economic influences, do you have any recommendations for our students?
Okay, first, save money and spend less. Second, cultivate global mobility.
Ooh, very good. Cultivate global mobility.
Thank you, and very good suggestion.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, we do have a graph here, and we're going to have one of our students explain what's happening in this graph. Who would like to help us with that?
Yeah, I can explain with that. Okay.
Barry, please.
Okay, during 2008 and 2009, the inflation rate rose very rapidly. After that, the government seems to control the inflation rate. But after 2010, it started to rise again until 2011, and is under control from 2012.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful explanation of what's taking place on our graph here. Thank you. Okay, Patricia, I have another question for you.
Okay.
We talked about what is inflation, but what causes inflation?
Okay, so there are many reasons that causes inflation, including consumer confidence, corporate decisions, decreases in supplies, etc. Basically, when consumers have stable incomes, they're more likely to spend money, whereas companies raise prices because consumers are willing to pay the increased amount. Furthermore, supplies decreases as the demand increases. This is when the inflation happens.
Thank you so much. That is definitely one reason for inflation. Patricia, nice job. Okay, Scott.
I'm here.
What is an acceptable level of inflation?
Well, since inflation is a general continuous increase in prices, the prices of products is sure to rise in the long term. Inflation levels of 2% to 3% are generally considered acceptable, even desirable in some ways.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Scott. And then finally, William, we have a question for you.
Okay. So, what?
Here's the question, ready? How can the government keep the inflation rate under control?
I think the government can manage inflation by increase interest rates and reserve the requirements and also reducing money supply. Yeah.
Yeah, that will definitely control spending. Very good job. Thank you, William. Now,
Welcome.
Students, I have a question for you guys. Now, how is the inflation in Taiwan in recent years? Can someone tell us?
I would like to answer that question.
Scott, please do.
Well, the inflation rate in Taiwan was 1.17% from November 2018, and it has fallen 1.13% from October and below market expectations of 0.9%.
Okay, now do you think that this is a good thing, or what would you say about it?
Well, in my opinion, I think we still have a lot of room for improvement since it's 0.9% below market expectations, so I'm pretty sure we can do better.
Very good. Thank you so much, Scott. Wow, well done. Thank you. Okay, so before we end today, does anyone have any questions for me?
I have a question. To
Yes, Barry?
import and export, if the inflation rates rise, what will happen? Or what impact to this industry?
Okay, so when we're talking about inflation and import and export, we think about currency, right? We think about how much value our money has on a foreign market. So if inflation increases in the United States, what happens to the dollar? It decreases in value. So for example, if I would like to buy something from Europe and import it into the United States, it's going to cost more American dollars due to inflation. That was a really good question, Barry. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Well, I really appreciated being here with all of you. Thank you so much for Mayor Ke. Your answers were wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, thanks the bundle, darling. Thank you, America. 非常感谢市长、局长及我们同学为我们示范
Thank you so much,
未来云端的课程
Take
模式
care. Bye.
Thank you, bye bye.